Is it going? All right. Hello and welcome to the Game of Miles.
Oh boy.
Where we take a game of inches and turn it into 1,000 miles. We have the whole crew back together this week. We got my co-host, Mr. Jake Laposha.
We are back.
Our executive producer, Luke Williams.
What's up, lady boys?
And your host, the Peanut Butter Squids. We are ready for a great week 12, 13, whatever we're at, and let's get it rolling, boys. Oh man, rough start. You can tell we're a little rusty. We're all laughing because we have audio issues. We can't hear the song playing. It's just been great.
Well, it's gonna sound great in post, so just have some confidence with that.
Final product. That's what we're about. The best opening song would have been "Guess Who's Back." Back again.
Well, we don't have the
Game of Miles is back. Tell a friend.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about it the other day when we originally created the podcast. It was Game of Miles was based off of 1,000 Miles by Vanessa Carlton, and that got shut down week 1. And the whole premise of this podcast was based off of that, and it lasted for 1 week.
That was a tell sign of how this was going to go. When we got audited by YouTube after having the video for 15 minutes.
Yeah. So everybody's like, "Why'd you name it that?" You know, all the questions, and it's just like you don't even want to know. It was just a fail from the beginning.
Yep. That's what makes it a good story.
Yeah. Well, we are excited to be back. There's been some league drama that's happened the past few weeks. There's been some sickness. There's been some travel. There's holidays, all kinds of different stuff. Not to make excuses, but with all that aside, we are back and we're ready to talk about the TDs and Beer Fantasy Football League for week. What are we on? Are we week 13?
You are on to week 13, yes.
On to week 13. So we're going to review 12, on to 13. Playoffs are slowly approaching.
Yep.
But we will go over to start off the pod with the Commission's Corner. Jake, what do you got for us?
All right, boys. The first thing that comes to mind would be the shotgun videos. Oh, Dick Doc, you are excused until your life is a little more or less hectic. I know you just had a child. You're a doctor. You're building a house. You got a lot of things going on. You're excused. Fathom, I know you're well. What?
Sorry, can I interrupt real quick? Dick Doc is going to make an appearance at Mansgiving. Maybe he can pay the debt then.
Oh, yeah, an in-person video.
Yeah.
Yes, if we get that.
I'll have a Busch Light ready for you, Dick Doc.
Yes. So he's excused until Mansgiving. Fathom, I know you're not ill anymore, and I know he's drinking beer. So we need a video. So I'm gonna text him after this and say, let's get a shotgun video to kick off the week. Other than that, Mansgiving is on Saturday. Is it the 3rd? December 3rd. I will put out the menu. It's at Spelly's house. I'm sure people are gonna be like, "What's your address?" Even though we've been there a million times. He'll put out that. I'll put out the revised menu that we came up with and who's bringing what. And then I'm gonna put out. Should we do a not a roulette, but whenever you Secret Santa beers, everybody brings a beer. And we draw the number, kind of like we did last year. That was fun before we hit whatever we're going to hit the bars afterwards.
Yeah, we
so that might be something to do.
We usually did the beer exchange at the Ugly Sweater Christmas party. I don't know if we're going to have that or not.
Well, see, Mansgiving starts to dip into December now just because of scheduling. So we kind of put it into one. We did the build your own 6-packs, but that took too long. So I think if everybody brings like a tall boy or something, and then you just, put them on the table, draw numbers, and everyone picks their tall boy.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And then we can.
And anybody can participate or not.
Yeah. It's optional.
Or not. So.
And then, but other than that, that's all I got.
I'll jump in real quick on Mansgiving. We are going to be eating about 5:30. Grant has a doctoral class that day, so whenever he can get here about 5:30, people can come over anytime after 4 and hang out. And then we'll eat and hang out. And then, yes, we will be going to the bars after. My 4-month-old daughter does not need to hear our drunk asses downstairs getting crazy. So I'm kicking everybody out. About 8, we'll go to whatever bar you guys want to go to, and we'll have a great night.
We'll have to figure out what's close.
Well,
TBD.
TBD.
39th Street was thrown out there, which I'm always a fan of. Otherwise, we could go to Brookside or
Brookside's pretty close. But if we want to go get rowdy at Mystery Beers, that is the heart of Mansgiving. That would make Mansgiving the best Mansgiving ever. Also, dress. I think we'll just do casual. We did casual last year. maybe some jeans.
If
and
we're
a
going
polo.
out after,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to wear a suit, go for it. But like, just dress like.
Normal.
No,
Yeah,
dress
casual.
up, everybody. Don't listen to these two guys. Dress up.
Well, it's just
Okay, bring a change of clothes.
Yeah, if you're gonna dress up, bring a change of clothes. So, but
Yeah.
we'll figure out where to go later.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, cool.
Cool. All right, Post, anything else for me?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Well, now that we got all of that out of the way, we're going to dive right into the league and all of the matters at hand. Like I said, we're going into week 13. We have week 13 and 14 to be played out, and then the playoffs start. So what we're going to do is look at the playoff picture. We're going to go through a couple scenarios that are unfolding and talk about more of the teams on the bubble. I think there's probably 3 that are right in the mix for that last playoff spot. We're going to turn it over to Luke here and break down where everybody stands currently, and then let's focus on some tiebreaker situations.
Yeah, for sure. So you guys can't see, but everybody else can. I just pulled up. So we have the FAGS power rankings up. That should be pretty accurate. I'm going to have somebody double check all the tiebreakers at some point, or everybody can double check their own tiebreakers along with that. But let's just go. So I just have the league website up. You guys, we can also go back and forth between Sleeper if we need to for things. So first place, no surprise, Scott, 10-2. He is
The juggernaut.
so he's clinched a bye.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, so we got the bye clinched for him. Division is clinched. Even with Harmon's win last night, he's the only 10-win team, and I think he has so many tiebreakers over everybody that could possibly, like the other 2 8-4 teams that could win their division. That it doesn't really matter if he loses out at this point. And I'll have to double check the tiebreakers, but
Yeah, Scott, bench your team the last this week. 'Cause
even
I'm
with
playing
that,
you,
I don't see a way that he could be third in that. So Scott up in the front looks good to go. Second place, we have Harmon, an unbelievable stretch of.
Is this? Hold on. Let's just pause on Harmon for a second. Is this the greatest fantasy season
So looking
for
down,
an individual team ever?
just so everybody
Yeah,
can
I
see
mean-
here, his he is 1,112 points for, which is good enough for whatever I put 10th. But he is the only team that hasn't had 1,100 points scored against him. So he is at 9-3. I said it on GroupMe earlier, but just so we're clear, he has 7 wins where he did not score 100 points. So, sure, he's got his division clinched. He does have the tiebreaker over Jake. If Jake ends up winning his division and you guys end up having a tied record, he does have the tiebreaker over you.
God.
I-
Jeez. Did not know that.
Harmon is 10th in points for, 12th in points against. You got to be 12th in points against to have that kind of luck. So.
Jeez.
And so the other thing is the other 2 teams, so Rich and Spencer, they both have the tiebreaker over Harmon. So if either of them ties Harmon's record, they can get the bye over him.
Interesting.
Rich has the best chance at the bye. Just moving on to third, we have Rich, 8-4. He has a tiebreaker over me if he ends up being a wild card team, because that's the only division that's up for grabs right now. Is, Moped Mo winning. So he has the tiebreaker over me, who is looking to be a wild card team. He has it over Harmon, and he has it over Spencer. So he's got a really good chance at a bye if he can end up even tying the record of Harmon. So he's got a lot of tiebreakers going his way.
Interesting. I'm going to look real quick. So Rich plays Grant this upcoming week.
Yep.
So I think everybody's rooting for Rich this week.
Yep.
And then the next week after that, he plays Spencer. So that could come down to the wire with those two teams.
Well, the other thing, since he does play Spencer one more time, he currently has the tiebreaker over Spencer. But if they split, it goes to division record, which would give Spencer and just moving on to fourth place right now, clinch a division. Spencer, who has a 4-0 record in this division, he swept the division.
See, I'm torn on the Rich and Grant game because obviously Grant's the league villain, so we all want him to lose. But like, I need Rich to lose because then I'll be tied with him in the division.
Yep.
And then I have the tiebreaker over him because I swept him in the season. So I'm really torn. Yep. Do I do it for the league's benefit or do it for my benefit? I don't know.
Everybody else would do it for their own benefit, so do it for your own benefit.
Yeah, we'll just see. We'll just see what happens.
Well, it's gonna be what it is, but yeah.
Anyways, we have Spencer there in fourth, division clinch, so he doesn't have anything to worry about. He's in the playoffs. It's if he can end up tying Harmon's record, and if how it could end up that he also gets a bye. It's going to come down to that game.
It's going to come down. The last 2 weeks are going to be wild in the TDs and Beer Fantasy League.
So there's a lot that can happen. I was going to write out scenarios, and with 2 weeks left, there's just too many scenarios to actually put out.
We can do that next week.
I will do that for the last week. I'll have it on here live for everybody on the last week. So moving on to fifth place team right now, me. So this is getting into the hairy stuff of who's going to get the wild cards. 2 teams at 7-5, me and Posh. I do have the tiebreaker over Posh. So that's good for me. Like Jake said, he does have that tiebreaker over Rich, but it could be a rough go for him if he doesn't. I don't think he has many other tiebreakers.
And so you're playing Lang this week, and then you have Grant next week. So next week can be interesting.
That is
and Lang has been on a hot streak a little bit. So
the Grant scenario, I listed it out earlier today, but so I currently have the tiebreaker over Grant. I beat him earlier, but I play him. He's the one team that I play twice. That's not in my division. So I play him the last week of the season. If he wins that game, then it goes to the next tie. And if it comes down to that for getting into the playoffs, the next tiebreaker down is division record. We are both 2-2 in our division, and that will not change. We don't have neither of us has a division game left. So it would go to the final tiebreaker of points 4. And just quickly looking, I'll bring it over here. Grant's points for 1,229. Mine 1,250. So there's a 20-point spread. So if that scenario does happen, I'll be putting out. It'll basically be Grant has to beat me and by this many points for him to win. So he could theoretically win that game, but still lose on the points 4 tiebreaker. And
we should get a treasurer's chest line on that one.
Line
on covering the spread, so to speak.
Yeah.
Whether Grant makes the playoffs.
Once we figure out when the last game is.
So that's pretty unique. That's pretty wild. Then moving down to Jake, he's got the tiebreaker over Rich. Again, sweeping him. He's got that 4-0 division record, so that could be big for him. But he's down a game. So looking at it right now, you're down a game. You got to have Rich lose somewhere. You got to win. So if any of that happens at any point, if you guys have a tied record, you automatically jump into the division lead, and Rich goes down to a wild card spot.
You got Scott this week.
This week I'm just gonna have to set it and forget it and just see what happens.
Then you got Landon, who is always, he's a tough matchup. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The last 2 weeks are a toss up.
This is so fun for you guys. I'm so glad that you guys are having fun at this point in the season. Like this.
I know, but when you're on the hot seat, like me, I'm on the fence of being in or out of the playoff. I don't know. I mean, would you rather? I guess I have a shot at getting in, and right now it's looking pretty good. But the way my personality and brain works, I got to know. So I don't like not knowing. So I'd rather be at like 10-2 like Scott, or
wouldn't we all
2-10? Yeah.
Okay, so moving it along. I don't want this to take too long.
Yeah, you're good. Keep going.
We got Grant. So Grant's he's in a tough spot because he doesn't have any tiebreakers, but he hasn't played Rich yet, which is this week, which would give him a tie. If Jake ends up winning the division, his division, and Grant beats Rich, and then they end up with the same record down the line, because Rich has 2 games on him, so Rich has to lose out, and Grant has to win out. But obviously, Grant beating Rich, that would happen. That would give him the tiebreaker over Rich. So there is a scenario right now where Rich doesn't make the playoffs.
Pickles.
And then
at 8-4, right?
And then, like I said, he also still has to play me, and it could come down to that game and how much the points for are and all that kind of stuff. So
this is crazy.
He's still in it.
There's so much that could happen.
We got Morris. Morris second in points for 5 and 7. I mean, just brutal.
And sold his soul for picks this year.
But his team is very good. He's proving
they are good. No, I'm saying it doesn't reflect.
No, not at all.
Like none of his, nothing with him adds up right now.
There's fourth and points against, so that's probably why.
That's the thing, is he hasn't got it on the right weeks. And he's probably had some blowout wins that padded the points for.
He beat me by 60.
Yeah, so days like that.
I was one of those blowout wins.
But he is 5 and 7, and there are the 2 wildcard teams right now have 7 wins. So with 2 weeks to go, he's hoping that 7 and 7 can get him. He does have a tiebreaker over Grant and Jake. So if either of those are in that tiebreaker scenario, that could also bump either of those guys out. I had that he had it over Lang, but Lang ended up losing, so it's not going to matter. So
is there a situation where he can make the playoffs?
I believe, because a lot of people are going to have to lose, and I didn't look at his games specifically, who he's going to play.
Me twice, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Oh my God, poor Spelly. He just
tell me about it.
Yeah, he just.
I don't know the exact scenario, but yes, because the 2 wildcard teams right now are both 7 and 5, and he's 5 and 7. So there's 2 weeks to go. If all those teams end up 7 and 7, he does have a tiebreaker over Grant and Posh. Grant could end up 7 and 7 if he's 1 and 1. And then Jake could end up 7 and 7 if he loses out.
Okay.
So I think there is a lot of things have to happen for him to sneak in, but I believe it's technically possible because of the tiebreaker over Grant and Posh, and the fact that, with 2 games to go, he's 2 games back, so it's basically Dormy. He's got to win out, and he's got to have other people lose out. That's the only way it happens. Is teams losing.
Oh gosh.
But anyway.
I have a question for you guys. Do you think, and this is a hypothetical, but when there's a bye, if you have the bye, is there anything worse than being on the bye and then watching your players play and just get walloped, and you're just praying for no injuries?
Yeah.
Because you're it doesn't matter this week. I'm moving on. So then next week is what matters.
Yeah.
To me, that's the worst.
It cancels out the fact of you get a freaking bye, and
I know it does.
Well, it's better than you playing those guys and they get hurt while you're playing them, and then they don't score a lot of points for you. So that kind of too.
So and if you have a bye, just frick off.
So just for me to wrap up, you got Adam, Lang, Scully, and Kyle. You are all eliminated. You've clinched the Squid Bowl. So that's where you're at. Hate to break it to you.
Come join us. Hey, you two could come join me. What do you think about it?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we could be in there.
Well, I'm just saying, why don't you just do it?
Oh, no. This not having to worry about even running the beer mile is just that satisfaction for me.
Yeah, I'd really prefer not to.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, so that's basically our rundown.
That is a huge analysis and a lot of different scenarios that go on.
Yeah.
So thank you, Willie, for putting that
Yeah.
together.
And we'll have more next week. Next
Yeah,
week I'll
God
have
bless.
actual scenarios of so and so has to beat so and so has to lose to so and so and all that. So that should be it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Analysis.
Yeah, God bless you for that.
I love that a lot of these teams are playing each other late in the season, so it
So it
just
makes it
happened to
fun.
work out like that.
Yeah.
I still think the schedule was rigged, but we'll leave that.
Yeah, let's talk. What are your thoughts on you playing Scott twice and Maury twice?
Yeah, the top two teams. Like, I mean, I know that right now they're not the top two, but the guys that got the most draft picks. I thought me and Scott were friends. I don't know. I must have.
Hey,
will
he
say-
asked if he said it was random.
I will say
And
I hope
I signed off on it, so I mean,
Yeah,
what can you
but
do?
I don't like the playing this two people back to back to end the year.
Yeah.
We could do away with that and try to scramble it somewhere else. But I also realize like
Yeah.
it's very difficult to schedule out. That
Oh my God!
Well,
it's
it was
almost
me and
impossible.
Scott back to back, and that was just kind of like an error. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna lose to him twice anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
And
matter
then-
what week it
Let's
is.
just get it over with.
Yeah, and then like the one with Maury, there was a error, and so I was supposed to play somebody else, maybe Grant or somebody. I forgot. Did you guys have to make a schedule change?
Yeah, but they changed it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the only reason I'm playing Maury back
Mhm.
to back. But
Cool.
Well,
anyway, it's all good.
can you do?
So we do have a few minutes left, and we wanted to talk a little bit about the Chiefs, maybe broaden our audience a little bit with some topics outside of the league. So let's just go around the horn and just, I mean, what do you guys think? How do you feel about it? Are you optimistic? What do you think?
I'm optimistic. I like Pacheco.
Yeah.
He's a bowling ball. I liked Rojo, the way Rojo ran. He was a bowling ball too. And Clyde just falls over. He's hurt, but he just falls over when he gets hit. So I like those two guys, and I think I think Mahomes. If you got Mahomes and Kelsey and Andy Reid, I think it's a no-brainer. I think the AFC is going through Arrowhead again.
It's looking like it for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so, but it's
Here he is. Here he is.
I mean,
Here he comes.
That's so negative.
Oh, USA is going to blow this lead. That was Willie. Willie,
well, no,
exit the
I mean,
chat.
like the division is over, which is awesome.
Yeah.
The only thing about the one seed is like, yes, we have it right now, but there's other teams that are right there. The Bills, they don't look great, but they are still winning games, and they do have the tiebreaker. So just don't forget that. And only one team gets that bye, so it's tough to get now. And we already lost to the Colts this year. It's like weird losses happen all the time in the NFL.
It's true.
So, and we watched, the Bills lose games they shouldn't have lost, and we got to play Cincinnati this week. That's no easy game. Jamar Chase is coming back, so.
Ooh, I forgot we play them this week.
What time is that game?
I believe it's a.
I think it's a
3:05 game or
3:05. Yeah.
One of them.
Let's
I don't
just
know.
say
I would think
3:25.
it'd be the main game, for Fox at that time, or whatever the main 3 o'clock game hour. But I mean, it's incredible. Like every week, it seems like they're talking about Mahomes completed passes to 10 different people in a game or whatever it is. It's like the one thing I saw, somebody had a sign at the game and it said, "Stop talking about Tyreek Hill," and I just I love it. I was like, thank God, somebody else also, because that seems to be all you hear is like, what are they? It's like, well, he's been gone for 12 weeks. We seem fine. He's also fine. You can talk about the different, like they're on different teams now. Stop bringing them up. That kind of thing. So
it was a good relationship while it was, but it's over now. So move on from it.
Talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spelly, your thoughts?
I think.
I hope you guys can hear me okay. I got a little
Yep, I
lag
got.
going on
I got you.
But the Chiefs play at 3:25 on CBS against
CBS.
Cincinnati.
Oh, Tony, my boy Tony, gonna be doing that game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. After what everybody was saying was going to be the best division in the league and how it's played out, there's so many videos about it and stuff. I'm excited for, well, one thing for fantasy. Melvin Gordon got signed to the Chiefs, and so by
Practice squad.
week 17, when I'm in the SWID championship, and they're resting Pacheco for the playoffs, maybe Gordon will get some touches, but
That's
It could happen.
That's not going to be
that could
too
happen.
relevant, but
Yeah, that really could happen.
yeah.
And I believe
what
we
I think
play
is
the
amazing
Broncos that week as well. Wouldn't be a nice revenge game for him.
Oh, here we
And
go.
Andy likes to do that stuff. He likes to.
Yeah, he does.
He likes to, put people in there that former teams or like their hometowns or whatever. So he might get in there,
Yeah.
especially if
My insurance
we have it
policy.
clinched. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I like that. My favorite thing is I think Mahomes is going to win another MVP. So we'll see how this season shakes out. We'll see how the seeding shakes out, and what we do in the playoffs, and all that's going to be great. And I think we're going to be right there. But just always pointing back to Mahomes and how lucky we are to have him, and how amazing it is with the receiving core and how many different receivers he always passes to. He's going to win a freaking MVP by doing it all.
Yep.
And Kelsey is just amazing. Every year he's supposed to regress. Every year he's going to get older and slower, and he just still puts it up, man. So
keep scoring. He's all reliable. We
It's
just
fun.
throw it to him, and
maybe we'll get another Chiefs watch party here in the next month or two. I know holidays are coming up, but if people are around this year, we could
or a
always
playoff party.
Oh yeah, that'd be good too. So maybe we'll put that out into the league verse and see what we could come up with. But that sounds great. All right, this is the last thing we're gonna do before we sign off. We just had Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, by the way. And we are gonna have Mansgiving on Saturday. What is your ideal plate, Willie? What do you got?
Ooh.
So, I gotta start with a roll, probably two.
Of all
You gotta get
things,
those
a roll.
Well, you gotta get the potato, and they're always at the beginning.
I'm with you. I'm
thinking about walking through the line. That's the first
Okay.
thing I'm gonna grab, right?
All right. Yeah.
Roll. I'm gonna grab a roll. Way too much butter on it before Kyle deep throats it.
Yeah.
Dark meat. I'm a dark meat turkey guy.
Oh wow.
Okay,
Are we gonna have ham?
sure, whatever you want.
Yeah. It's your
I
plate.
would like a
We
little
will
bit-
have ham on Saturday,
Okay,
but
so
It's
a
your
little bit
ideal
of- I
plate,
like a
not
little
just
bit of both.
Thanksgiving.
Okay. A little bit of both. I like dark meat turkey. I'll have some ham, sweet potato casserole, lots of gravy for my turkey and mashed potatoes, all kind of at once, type of a big, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Some of that. Then, yeah, that's mac and cheese. I'm excited to make mac and cheese, by the way. But I want some mac and cheese, a lot of carbs, mac and cheese, and
That's what
then
it's for, man.
when I have to come back later, that's when I'll get my dessert. I gotta
Sure.
get pumpkin pie, pecan pie, slice of each of those, and I'm set.
nice.
Do you like whipped cream on your pie?
Yes.
That's a serious question.
Yes.
Not to be funny, because I know a lot of people who do not like whipped cream on their pie.
Oh, you're dumb.
And I do.
Get the whipped cream.
Yeah,
Live a little.
I like it.
God Almighty.
So,
All right.
Posh, what do you think?
my plate, I'm pretty basic. I turkey, white or dark, don't matter to me. I usually go for the white meat first. I like mashed potatoes and gravy, and then gravy on my turkey.
Yep.
And then a roll with Willie. I like salad, and then we don't have mac and cheese usually at mine, Samantha. And then, but I usually like green bean casserole or sweet potato casserole.
Mm,
And then obviously the pie, I like pumpkin. We had French silk pie this year, which I thought was really good. And then, yeah, so that's mine.
Nice. That sounds good.
pretty good plates. I'm not too different than you guys, so I
Mhm.
don't care about rolls. But white meat, turkey, and ham, mashed potatoes, gravy on both the mashed potatoes and the turkey.
Mhm.
I'm a huge green bean casserole. That's like my favorite thing. And then I do like a salad, get a little greens in there, and a deviled egg
Ooh.
Oh, I forgot about
Very
deviled
nice.
eggs.
It's good.
That's a good one.
And then stuffing. I mean, you got to have stuffing with.
How did I forget that
Oh,
too?
yeah, so
I
did
forgot
I.
stuffing
Of course,
too.
we have stuffing. Gravy on the side.
Damn.
Also, for,
Throw stuffing on my plate too.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then for dessert, I like all the desserts, but like on Thanksgiving, there was a huge array of them, and I went with the pumpkin pie. That's like a staple for me. And you got to get the whipped cream with it too. So
Heard
yeah.
that.
And I think a lot of that stuff we just mentioned will be there. So Push, thanks for setting up the menu. But if you guys missed out on something at your own Thanksgivings, we'll have a lot of it at ours.
Oh, we'll have plenty of food. Also, an update on Fathom. It looks like we will be getting a shotgun video tonight. I texted him and he said, and I quote, "I'll set a beer out so it's not balls cold, LOL." So he will. It looks like he's going to be doing one once the beer goes down a little above room temperature. So
That's so good.
So everyone check GroupMe tonight. It should be you should be in for a treat.
Oh, I love him so much.
I do too. I can't. Have we got a confirmation on him about Mansgiving? You know what?
No, if you're texting him, just ask
I'll
him.
ask him. I'll just
And tell him
ask
he's
him.
supposed to make rolls. So tell him.
Okay, and I'm also going to ask him if I could wear his 1930s paperboy hat when we go to Mystery Beers.
Oh man. All right. Well, that is going to do it for the Game of Miles podcast. We appreciate you guys listening, and we will look to do this consistently for the rest of the season and through the playoffs. So that is us signing out.
All right.
See you, everyone.
See you guys.
Did you cut it?